Hello, I'd like to order some food for delivery. It's chow time!
Video review. I'm better than you. We're better than Siskel and Ebert too.
Let me get these cans on.
I might say, and this is
That's better.
CHOWTIME. I'm Tom Wilson. I'm Joe Malone. And this is CHOWTIME.
What did they say in this? Wait. No, you're right. That's better. And this is
Okay,
Chowtime.
we're
That's
rolling.
better. Use it.
Action.
Hi, I'm Tom Wilson.
And I'm the artist formerly known as Bloj.
And this is CHOWTIME.
Video review.
Movie review?
It used to be video review.
We're getting older, but we're still vintage in a good way. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. When did we do Chowtime video review?
My good friend Joe and I originally did it
And Gibby.
in the early 90s, I think around the 1993, 1994 period.
1994.
There you go,
It
1994.
was Gib Von Bach, who's very much a part of our show right now, was with us in 1994. We did 8 episodes of Chowtime video review and have decided to change the title to
CHOWTIME movie review.
Because
Because movies are in and videos are antiquated.
Well, also I figure videos are too ambiguous. Are they video games? Who watches things on VHS tape? Although you might.
You've had too much coffee. Now look, folks, we're back. We're here to review movies, and we're going to have some fun while we review movies.
What, the TV got closed? Ah, crap. Oh, Scott. Yeah, nuts. We have 4 wonderful movies this week, and the first movie that we're going to be reviewing is Blade Runner 2049, a 2017 picture.
Fascinating.
If you can work with me so far with the chronology. It's a remake of a 1982 movie called Blade Runner.
Now let's discuss that for one moment, buddy.
Sure.
1982 Blade Runner, directed by Ridley Scott. Daryl Hannah is gorgeous. Harrison Ford is not crusty yet. It's a 1982 picture. I have to be honest, I think it's one of the top 5 sci-fi films of all time.
I would agree with that assessment. And what's also interesting is the original 1982 Blade Runner is set in 2019 Los Angeles.
Oh, I didn't know that. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're
Okay.
sitting here in February 2018. We're 10 months short, but the original Blade Runner takes place, most of the movie takes place in 2019. The first scene, actually, they mention a date of April 15th, 2017. But I don't want, I don't want to get too.
So Joe's going to be giving us a full review, and you know what? I think this might be the record for time period with follow-up movies. If
Yeah.
we consider that Blade
That's
Runner
fair.
came out in 1982,
Right.
And for lack of a better term, Blade Runner 2049 is basically Blade Runner 2.
But
And
35 years later.
Right, 2017. I'd like to see someone beat that time
Yeah.
frame.
No, you're right. I thought it was an excellent picture. I'd like to talk about it a little bit and lay into my final review. But I think the key with a remake like that, especially like you said, Tom, and that was really smart that you keyed into this, that it was 35 years is a record between sequels, right?
Nothing else comes to mind.
Yeah.
And wow.
Wow. So when you have when you make that kind of jump, which schmucky Hollywood is not doing lately, right?
Right.
Rebooting Spider-Man, rebooting things 7 years later.
Right.
To wait this long, it almost, first of all, seemed like they were listening to the original story and wanting to flesh it out to this length. So I appreciated that. I was fascinated by it. So with a movie like this, the first thing I look at is the tone. Did it capture the tone of the original in 1982?
What do you think, buddy?
It really did.
Wow.
In terms of being coherent and inherent to the original, I thought they so captured the look, the feel, that kind of minimalist stylization. It's clearly now, what is it? So it's 2019 and it's 2049. So it's 30 years later in their chapter, right? Of this future visualization. And they really kept with it. They kept Atari and Peugeot as the big brand models they're showing now.
Okay.
Even though in the 1982 version, those were big brands and they've become almost obsolete.
So in 1982, you've got industrial, depressing gray cities. You got a ton of rain, and you've got neon advertising with a slightly Asian flavor. I thought they continued
I like
that,
the Asian flavor. Right.
and continued to pull it off.
Yeah.
We are there.
Yeah.
They created
And they
an
kept that,
environment,
right.
and they brought us back
Right.
to it.
30 years later.
I mean, in its most pure form, a movie is escapism, and this movie really took me away. I was able to escape into
you
their
liked it?
world. I think maybe I did.
I did.
Tell us more, Joe.
All right, so to break it down, first of all, I'll jump around, but I did love this movie a lot. I thought that they kept to the original, which is great. One problem I had, I saw it streaming, which we're going to be doing on CHOWTIME Movie Review, and I could not, for the life of me, and I'm not shredding here, read any of the titles in the beginning. So it started out bad. They used a kind of a strange futuristic font, and I couldn't read what they were saying in this key beginning. Fortunately, I know the original.
Now, Joe, I live and die for your review, and I'd be loath to ever interrupt, but I had the exact same issue.
Well, that's not interrupting. It's
so it's true. The early credits are cheesy,
and that's bad,
and almost illegible.
It's a mistake.
Yes.
But nowadays, maybe make your movies so they'll fit on a large screen, an IMAX screen, and eventually
very hard to read.
Your television screen.
Yeah, it was tiny, so that's
why our audience is CHOWTIME Movie Review, and that's where half of us are seeing our movies.
So Harrison Ford carries the original picture. Who's carrying this next picture?
Wow. If you have to talk about carrying a picture, I would have to say, it's a good question. I mean, in terms of the acting, I don't know if anyone carried the picture. I liked Ryan Gosling. I thought he was good because he's playing. I don't want to give anything away, which is important for our audience. But it's well known. Is he playing a replicant? Is he not playing a replicant? And, Ryan Gosling is always interesting with a kind of a half wooden, but half Steve McQueen, soulful performance.
Yeah, he's a futuristic tough guy, but I think he pulls it off.
All right, I do too. I don't think this movie was based on acting, carrying. My favorite actor in the film was Harrison Ford, but I don't want to jump the gun with that. I like the way it was directed. Okay. I like the way it was directed by Denis Villeneuve. I thought he really captured the set. There's great sound in this film.
We are animal lovers here, folks.
This is 14
the dog wants to give a full review. You're such a sweetheart.
She's a gushy goo-goo.
She loved the Beethoven movie, but we'll discuss that in a future episode.
Right. Oh. I haven't seen Beethoven, but B and Tom have.
Oh, it's a fun picture. We will discuss it when the time comes.
Here I go. I'm sorry. In conclusion, I give Blade Runner 2049 an 8.0. I thought that it was a little long.
Okay.
It was existential, almost like a French film from the late 60s that worked. If you don't believe in that... Is that B again?
It's all good. But an 8.0, you like this picture.
Well, Leah, let me sum it up, and then I want to hear your thing. I give it an 8.0. I thought it was a little long. It was a little slow. Right. There was some plot problems.
Right.
But that director's ability to adhere to the original from 1982, which is the hardest part to do. Correct. Any artist will know you're supposed to mirror or take off on something from the original. I thought it was brilliant. His decisions about the future were very smart. I love the look of it. I love the sound.
Okay.
And ultimately, I love the plot at the ending. But it was slow. Jared Leto was a little mannered. They should have edited probably about 20 minutes. I'm babbling. 8.0.
8.0, folks. He likes the picture.
And I want to hear your deets.
What do I think of Blade Runner 2049, folks? The bottom line is...
I'm listening.
Ooh, is the doggy listening too?
I don't know
The
if she
bottom
cares.
line, folks, is that we should take a moment here and consider if I can possibly get my partner to rejoin me on the sofa.
I thought it'd be funny. Go ahead. So what did you think, Ernesto?
My feeling of Blade Runner 2049 is I was very impressed with Ryan Gosling. I wasn't sure that he could play a serious alpha male, tough guy lead. I know he was great in La La Land, but it's La La Land.
But you didn't see that.
No, but I heard about it. And also,
He was good in movies.
I saw some internet clips.
He was great in Drive.
I thought he might be a miscast. I was wrong. He completely pulls it off. He does a great job. There was a movie that came out, a year or two ago called Thunder Road. There was kind of like, for lack of a better term, a remake of The Road Warrior, I believe. And I thought in that remake that the new actor was, dreadful in Thunder Road, and that he didn't, pull it off as the new Mel Gibson.
Thunder Road? What is
I
that?
forget, something like that, but it was the remake.
What, something about the Pines.
Right, so but it was a remake of the original, Mad Max series. In this particular picture, Ryan Gosling, he's strong. He stays strong. He makes the movie worthwhile. I also enjoyed Harrison Ford.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
2 hours and
I had a theory you wouldn't.
2 hours and 43 minutes is a little bit tough, but I have to be honest. There was a couple of things that were convoluted. By the time the picture was over, I wasn't quite sure what had happened to Jared Leto's character. Like, it lost me somehow. I don't remember there ever being, like, a final battle with him. There was one, like, super enemy.
Was he even human? He was, right?
It's kind of hard to say. He sure didn't treat that woman in the baggie very well, did he?
I didn't even get that. Was he looking for a baby? He cut her and killed her.
Yeah, like he killed her. Yeah,
I don't want to give it away, sorry.
There's a little bit of, replicant abuse in this picture, to say the least. But bottom line, Ryan Gosling does an amazing job. 2 hours and 43 minutes is an issue, but not so much when you're streaming. If you have to, break the movie into two, nights of watching and focus in. Yeah. Now, I won't be reaching for it during the shot.
Okay.
I work
Can I put it here?
Yes.
Okay.
I work very hard to sound absolutely fascinated with the idiot blather, whoever I happen to be working with at the time. Oh, also, I've been married for 20 years. So yes, honey. Yes, honey. Yeah, that's absolutely fascinating, honey. Yes, there are some issues, but I don't call it a gut. It's contours, okay? More of me to love, sweetheart. Give me some tongue and stop talking.
I ask you, you're the best. Remember, you don't have to be pulling
Actors.
shit out.
Actors.
I know.
So listen,
Direct
okay,
me.
enough. All right, so I unfortunately don't have all night because, I have to get up at 5 a.m. So we need to do this.
Right. All right, let's do it.
Okay? So I need quiet on the set.
Society created, as you mentioned earlier, with the futuristic, industrial, despair,
Right. And technology.
mixed in with neon technology,
Right,
almost slightly pornographic at certain points,
Overtaking,
with a
right.
little Asian flavor.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I'm sure you love the Asian flavor.
Well, so what I'm going to say is my review on a scale of 0 to 10.
With
I'm
decimal points.
I'm going to give you my score and then just a little bit of follow-up. I'm going to give this movie a 7.2.
Okay.
It's worth watching.
Right.
I don't think it is as strong as the original.
Okay.
The battling with the replicons in the first movie... Replicants, thank you.
Right.
In the first movie, there was a certain level of intensity.
Right.
And this time
Physical.
around...
There's more hand-to-hand combat on the earth.
Right.
In the first
This
one.
time around, I was a little bit, and it sounds silly, but I'm going to go with it, disappointed with the action.
Okay.
A certain replicant, who may be male or female, is played up as like the toughest to defeat in this movie.
All right, yeah.
A super
Did you
villain.
like her, by the way?
She was excellent. She was truly evil in a fascinating way.
Yeah.
The actress did a great job, but when they had the final battle in that kind of water wasteland,
they always have
the
to.
way that he defeated her, I thought was pretty half-assed. You know, I myself felt that when it came to Jared Leto's performance in Blade Runner 2049, Joe, I thought it was a scientific miracle in that it both sucked and also blows. It was just completely stiff. I wasn't impressed. Now, he's not supposed to be playing a likable character, but you're supposed to at least appreciate the acting. I thought he was a weak link in an otherwise well-acted picture.
Right.
Blade Runner 2049, Ryan Gosling. Joe, we're going to take a look at a clip and see if he is a futuristic badass.
I would much prefer that to the alternative. I'm sure you knew it would be someone in time. I'm sorry it had to be me. Good as any. Now, if you don't mind, if you could just look up and to the left, please. Please don't get up. How's it feel? Killing your own kind. I don't retire my own kind because we don't run. Only older models do. And you new models are happy scraping the shit. Because you've never seen a miracle.
You're getting pizza? I'm coming! Are you nuts? I don't care. Those lights are fine.
Hey, Harry, I think that crazy Scott left his cameras on.
Yeah.
He did. Hey, you know what we could do? We could just pretend that we're your dad and Tom, and we could do a review of the movies ourselves. How's that sound?
Good.
Now, what do you think of the movies that these two guys are reviewing?
Boring.
Boring as all heck, I tell you. You know what we should do? We should do a good movie instead of those boring movies, you know? There are two types of movies. There are good movies and then there are grown-up movies. We want to do a good movie. So, what movie do you think we should be reviewing today?
Emoji movie.
The Emoji Movie. That's a great movie starring James Corden, T.J. Miller, and Anna Faris from the TV show Mom. Anyway, what do you think of this movie, young man?
It's good.
It is, huh? What did you like best about it?
When the two poop emojis came out and the kid said, "Should we wash our hands?" And he said, and then the dad and the kid said, "Ha ha ha ha! We're number two. We're number two."
That was a good scene, I have to admit.
Episodes 1 through 8, actually. With him, I still see the shadow, although it used to be over there.
Yeah.
He was much quicker with setups, but that doesn't matter.
Can we get a razor for Joe's neck? The next movie that we're going to review here on CHOWTIME Movie Review is a 2007 picture, Joe, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
I picked it.
It's directed by classic director Sidney Lumet, or am I mispronouncing that?
I believe it's Sidney Lumet in his last film. A great director, Serpico.
That's correct. He worked on a lot of stuff.
Dog Day
early on
Afternoon.
With Al Pacino. Sidney is a very famous director. He directed like 50 pictures. This was his last film. He was already in his 80s.
Yep.
And what we've got going on here, folks, is a robbery of a jewelry store. Two brothers are involved. And the robbery may go awry. Things may not be perfect. As Joe mentioned, in this picture, we've got brothers, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and we have his brother, Ethan Hawke. Now, so what do I think of this picture? It starts out with a lot of high energy.
Had you ever seen it before?
Yes, I saw this picture when it originally came out in
the
2007.
theater?
Yes, in the theater. Okay. It was very interesting to me at the time.
Now it's 2018.
Right. The thing about Before the Devil Knows You're Dead is there's a lot of human interaction here. I worried about the lack of any redeeming characters.
That's good.
I'm not sure that there's a single person in this film that you'd want to have lunch with.
Well,
if you
Ethan
understand. Ethan Hawke's character is a person that's involved in a bank robbery a jewelry store robbery. Right. And I don't want to give anything away, but it's ultra sleazy.
Right. Well, he didn't know that, though.
He knew what he was robbing.
But he didn't know exactly who he was robbing.
He did.
Right.
He knows the entire time.
He's right.
Also, he's such a lowlife that the person that he decides to do this robbery with, he's already having an affair with that person's wife.
Well, he's having an affair with his brother's wife.
Yes, and he's...
You're a good point. He's not redeeming.
The Devil Knows You're Dead. For me, this picture is about Philip Seymour Hoffman. This, ladies and gentlemen, is his best picture for a serious role. I'm well aware that he did the Truman Capote movie, and I think that that's his second best serious role.
Okay.
His best comedic role is Fools Rush In, which Joe
you mean Along Came Polly.
That's what you're right.
It's all right.
His best comedic role is Along Came Polly. Always listen to my partner. So in this movie, Philip Seymour Hoffman, he has some angst. The bottom line, desperate men will do desperate things.
Humans or just men?
Humans can do humans.
No, but I agree with you. That's a good point. And that's a good line by you. That's not in the movie, but that really sums it up. That's
desperate people will do desperate things.
That's good. Should have been the tagline.
Yes, exactly.
That's very good.
With this picture, I don't want to give it away, but I will say that, interesting things are going to happen. There's going to be some plot twists. My score, Joe, of this film...
0 to 10 with decimals.
0 to 10 with decimal points. I give it a 7.8, and the reason why is because when you wake up the next day after you've seen this picture, you're thinking about this movie during the day. You're thinking about different aspects. Right. Now, Joe, just one thing I got to say to you. In this movie, there is a man that truly has a heart of darkness. And who is this character in your mind? I mean, I feel this person is practically evil.
Albert Finney?
That's right. How could you say that? I thought I'd trick you.
No.
Yes,
I don't
Albert Finney.
necessarily agree. All right, well, that's a wonderful entree to my 2-minute review.
Albert Finney, I feel, is evil in this picture, but he's actually meant to be the most redeeming, most ethical character.
Well,
I'm very surprised that you agreed with me.
I love it.
Most people look at him as a victim.
It's his CHOWTIME.
And I look at him as evil.
Well, let's start with Albert Finney. Then.
Wow, I didn't expect Joe was going to say that. You really surprised me. That's fascinating.
7-minute encapsulation of the movie. Albert Finney was interesting to me. He plays a father. He was very hammy, but there was something about his just Albert Finney acting nature. He had me crying the most. I love this movie, guys. I thought it was a small-town caper crime drama. I'm very proud of Sidney Lumet, ending on such a gritty, non-commercial Hollywood style. Still late in the game. Only 10 years old now with all these, all it's about is the money and the big capers. I love the small town locale. It's largely filmed. I'll feed you soon, B. It's largely filmed on a location in Westchester, New York, as well as New York City. They use gritty locations with that. We have a very strong cast. Marisa Tomei's in it. She's excellent. Albert Finney's in it. He's hammy. He's evil. He's excellent. Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. I thought it was actually Philip Seymour Hoffman's worst role ever.
Wow,
but he was still fantastic. Right. I thought his conveying with his brother, Ethan Hawke, my favorite actor in the movie, the lead, Ethan Hawke, he did it a little over mean, but Philip gets to do certainly a multi-complex character. It's really weird, people. And Tom, when you see him shooting up in those scenes, we know that's how he died in real life. Wow. So that's a very creepy attribute to this film. It's a strong movie. They do a weird jump cut narrative in time, bouncing back and forth from people's different points of view, back and forth in time from different points of view multiple times. And you know what? It works. And they do it so often, it is innovative. I think it was a very strong picture. I wish I didn't have to say this, but I have to go from the heart what the review is. It's another 8.0. I don't like that 8.0 for Blade Runner.
8.0 with decimal points.
With 8.0 with decimal points.
Wow.
It's Blade Runner is as well.
Before the devil knows you're dead, not every robbery goes as planned.
Tom, what's that phrase come from?
Which phrase? The phrase "before the devil knows you're dead" was originally an Irish toast. It's a couple of 100 years old. The original Irish toast goes, "May you be in heaven for 40 years before the devil knows you're dead." Actually, the title of the movie I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
People, don't forget, Marisa Tomei is also in this picture. Let's take a look.
And she's hot.
True. She is, too.
Totally.
She was in fantastic shape.
Totally.
And it looks natural. Is Marisa Tomei the only woman in Hollywood that doesn't have implants?
I got a whack!
Bonus. She looked fantastic. Best topless woman at age 40 you're ever going to see. Right. It wasn't like Janet Jackson.
It's my turn. Chow time.
It wasn't like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl. She wasn't drooping.
I'll give you a tit malfunction.
She wasn't drooping. Her tits were fantastic.
You know, when you met me, my biggest prospect was inheriting a mom-and-pop jewelry store in a fucking shopping mall in Westchester. Now, I know it's not Trump Plaza, but just take a look at how we're living now. I took that lousy job in that real estate office. I was practically a fucking gopher, and I'm pulling down 6 figures now. I'm smart. I know the angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Well, because there's no extradition agreement between Brazil and the United States.
How the hell do you know that?
I saw it in the movie.
Yeah, I guess I saw the same movie.
Oh. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Don't ask, don't tell. I just want us to get back there. I've seen heaven, Jane. It's a nice place to stay. Okay? All right.
What language do they speak there?
Portuguese.
I speak a little Spanish.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's not the same language.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
¿Cómo se llama?
May.
A whiteboard.
They get messy. I've had so many when I'm holding somebody's baby and then they throw up on me and it's all this soft, yucky stuff on my shoulder.
Can you record that?
That's never happened to me.
You know who did that to me? Jimmy Wilson threw up on me. When I held first time.
That's Tommy's kid hair.
Should I hold it?
It's okay. Let me sit back.
He wants to get a.
I can't tell if he's a star or a ham. Or both.
A little of both.
Good.
Just like the rest
That's
of
what we want to see. The third review is a movie called Less Than Zero.
Wow. Okay.
1987. It's our vintage film of the week. It's starring Robert Downey Jr., James Spader, Jamie Gertz, Andrew McCarthy. It's not a well-known director. Marek Generalaxis, I don't know. It had a music production by Rick Rubin, who is a very famous music producer. Right out of the gate, I love the music to this movie. Rick Rubin used a lot of 1960s and 1970s songs, famous songs, but he had them remade by 1980s bands. So it wasn't like this late 1980s, just 1980s music thing. Great music in this movie. He really, got a lot of drama going.
What's the picture all about?
First of all, this movie wasn't dated, which I was impressed by. Okay. I don't want to go on a big thing here, but I'm one of these people. I hate to say it. I love movies, but I feel that so many movies now are dated. Not Jaws, but almost every movie I'd see before 1990 maybe is just like, crap. Well, this isn't. It's based on a novel by Bret Easton Ellis.
Is he the guy that did American Psycho?
Yes.
Okay,
he wrote
gotcha.
that. No, he wrote that, right? And that
Right.
is another movie with Christian Bale.
Oh, okay.
So in this movie, long story short, I want to be quick here. Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic in one of his first breakout roles, playing a drug addict. So much to mention, method acting. James Spader, most recently famous for The Blacklist, is fantastic as a ambiguously homoerotic. Tom told me this before the thing. I thought it. He verified it. He's going to talk in a minute. He's fantastic as the drug dealer. I thought Jamie Gertz pretty much stunk as the female lead. It brings it down. Andrew McCarthy had some terrible dialogue. But I kind of decided I liked him at the end.
Really?
One of the problems with the movie, even though it's based on a book, is very episodic in nature.
Right.
The scenes are often in and out. They meet each other for 4 minutes. They're best friends coming back from Christmas, and he's like, "How are you? Good. I gotta go."
Well, Joe brings up a good point, folks. In this movie, it seems like there's 14 different times where Andrew McCarthy interacts with his friends and says, "I gotta go."
Yeah,
like, literally within
We're
3
gonna
minutes.
show it.
Yeah, there's even a scene where Robert Downey Jr. is jonesing. He needs coke. He's freezing his ass off on the beach. Andrew McCarthy somehow hunts him down, talks to him for 2 minutes, and is like, "I gotta go."
Yeah, literally.
The name of this picture
on a rock, on a
right.
mountain, by the beach.
The name of this movie should have been
I gotta go. I gotta go. Very cool.
What do you give this picture, buddy? With decimal points.
And this embarrasses me.
Tell the
All right?
truth.
8.0.
Oh my God!
If our audience is gonna know anything, at least I'm a Nesto. I'm embarrassed my first 3 movies are 8.0. They're gonna think that I'm a rubbery, red-lipped, like everything's 8.0 and he's slurring sometimes.
Well, at least you're consistent.
It's an 8.0. I loved it.
All right, Joe gave it an 8.0, and I
What do
think
you think?
can admit to the audience it's not the first time you've seen this picture.
No, but it's the first time in many years.
I saw this picture when it originally came out in 1987. Ironically, the only thing that I had actually remembered was a scene that takes place in the car at the end of the picture. We're not going to give anything.
Oof.
The scene that takes place. Ironically, the only thing I remembered from this picture when I originally saw it in 1987 was the scene at the end that takes place in the car. I don't want to give anything away, but it was pretty
Who would do
emphatic.
that?
It was pretty emphatic at the time. It always stuck in my memory.
Right.
I believe you're correct.
And
that
was dumb, by the way.
That
They were in the
Jamie
middle of the
Gertz
highway.
is only okay in this picture, but I love her in the Seinfeld as the phone sex girl, and I guess that's forever embedded in my memory, so I tend to be forgiving in her other work. But you're right, for this picture, she's average at best. Andrew McCarthy is a one-trick pony. He kind of looks like a male model that's been given some speaking lines. I think he's basically a stiff. On a scale of 0 to 10, and will we ever actually say what the picture's about? It's about a bunch of super
This
rich...
one you can say everything. By the way, in
Unless-
1987, you can give everything away in
less
this.
than 0, a bunch of pretentious rich kids have just graduated from high school.
Los
Their parents
Angeles.
are all multimillionaires with huge Bel Air homes.
You're right.
And the problem in this movie is that these people graduate from school, they're pampered rich kids, and there's cocaine problems out the yin-yang. Not other drugs. This movie wants to focus on cocaine. Snorting it, smoking it, all sorts of problems. Who's the main protagonist of Cocaine Evil? It's Robert Downey Jr.
Antagonist then, right? Or do we still know he's still a
We'll
protagonist?
let the audience decide.
No,
But
protagonist.
the main thing is here, folks, is who is going to win in this picture? Robert Downey Jr. or cocaine? And the bottom line is, see the picture, find out for yourself. I gave it a 5.0. I thought the movie was exceedingly average. And if I'm going to see a movie about people with serious drug or alcohol problems, I'll find something with James Woods in it.
All right. Well, look, it's chow time, people. I want to say an addendum and move on a quick one because that was a long thing. But one thing I did like about Less Than Zero, it was an homage to The Graduate. I thought it was The Graduate for the 1980s. Little red sports cars, music soundtracks, half of it's in Palm Springs. I noticed that because The Graduate's one of my favorite films. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to redo this part. But ladies, gentlemen, and germs. Oh, by the way, The Doors, Moonlight Drive. Also in Less Than Zero, I loved it. So we're up to the last movie. Sorry. We are up to the last movie of the evening, people. We are up to the last evening of the movie.
Excellent.
James Spader, possibly the best actor in this movie, although I love Robert Downey Jr.
You might be right.
Is he gay in this movie?
Tune in and find out.
You have something for me? Man, I had it all worked out. Christ, I thought I did. I fucked up. I don't have any money. I don't know where I'm gonna get it.
Julian, this cannot go on forever. You owe me a lot of cash, and I'm carrying you like I'm stupid.
I know, but if you just give me a chance, please don't cut me off. I'll do whatever you want, anything you want.
Listen, I want you to do a favor for me. Okay? You're gonna go to work for me. Just for a little while. Till we're even with Steven.
Well, a little business like sales, I can do that.
I just want you to meet some people. Okay? They're very cool. You'll like them. These are very important people, Julian.
Cool.
All right, Bill's gonna take you there. It's just a party. Everything's gonna be just fine. Even Steve.
Joe, we're going to have everyone take a little quick look at a clip where the two of them are together taking their boat ride, Wonder Woman and Chris Pine, and here it is.
Oh, God, it's my dog.
Oh, my God.
What are you talking about, Chef? Hey, shit! You know, I busted through a wall of the original, and now it's my doggy!
I thought the dog was crippled. Apparently not.
Yeah, I thought you were crippled for a few years. Let me honk those butts.
Jesus,
You
hell.
prick. Listen, cocksuck.
Blade Runner 2049. Ryan Gosling is a strong, silent, futuristic badass. Let's look at the clip.
Jesus Christ.
Watch the dog.
All right, let me help her.
Okay, we're cutting.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's her. Bumble, you have...
Yeah, I think I'm working good with this guy. I feel the dynamic already.
Chef Gibby, where's the food?
Come on, Fire and Ice. Everything's either burned or undercooked. Where's the food?
Right here, fellas. Got these lovely cheese sticks and buffalo wings.
Oh, my.
And a lovely marinara sauce.
Look at this.
Oh. Where is this from, Gibby?
This is from a place called TGI Friday.
Oh.
What store did you get it at? I've seen these at Stop and Shop.
Mozzarella sticks.
Acme, I get them at Stop and Shop. You get them in any damn store that TGI Fridays is sold.
And these delicious buffalo wings also from TGI Friday?
Why is it cold?
As a matter of fact, everything we have today is from TGI Friday.
Wow. Look at this. Buffalo style wings. And what have you got there, Joe?
Mozzarella sticks.
Wow.
What do you think?
Food is necessary when you're watching movies. We have to have substance. On a scale of 0 to 10, these mozzarella sticks with dipping sauce, I'm going to give it a 5.3. The dipping sauce is tangy and delicious. The mozzarella sticks taste like glue and sawdust.
And you, what do you think?
What do you think of the chicken wings?
The chicken wings, the buffalo wings, I enjoy them. On a scale of 0 to 10, I'm giving them a 7.5.
I like the mozzarella sticks. I would give the mozzarella sticks normally a 7, but the sauce sucks. I give it a 5.0.
5.0. And I gave it a 5.3. So these are mediocre mozzarella sticks. How about those wings?
Don't let Chef Gibby hear this, but they're cold as shit. Cold as ice. I hate them. They're gluey. They're terrible. I give them a 3.
Chef Gibby may or may not have a drinking problem. This is something we'll look into further in future episodes. On a scale of 0 to 10, I gave the wings a 7.5, but Joe is right. They're cold as ice, and someone's back is aching for the lash.
Chef Gibby, how are these to make?
Well, it would be nice to have an oven.
Details, bitch!
You saying that we're having an attack of the cheaps on this show? Next thing you know, Gibby will be expecting us to pay for our own food. Tune in next week when we'll have some new movies and some new chow on Chow Time.
In stereo, where applicable.
Available worldwide.
Love you. I mean, I love you. I really do love you.
And that is how you have sex with a buffalo wing. You should just hit record and let me do some one-liners.
We're just getting product shots. You already, okay.
I'm going to do my 2 right hands.
There you go. Gibby, come back a little bit, Gibby. Just so we get some fats hit. All right. Go.
Good.
All of us?
Yum.
Yep. All right.
Come on there. That's all.
I like the mozzarella stick. I did not like the buffalo.
cold.
And my view was the opposite, and it's good that Joe and I don't agree.
Great.
We've come to the end of another episode of Chow Time Movie Review. Joe, it's been a pleasure. We looked at Blade Runner 2049, we looked at Less Than Zero, and we looked at Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. All these movies we recommend you take a look at.
Yeah.
They're all available for streaming. Right. And we want you to subscribe to our show, watch the show, and tune in soon where we'll have a brand new episode of Chow Time
Movie Review.
Bye.
Love you.
Hey, Tom, you mind holding the TV a while? I'm getting sick of it.
No, I refuse to hold the TV. Hold the pizza.
Look, Tom, I'm sick of this crap. Seriously, just hold the goddamn TV. It's tiring me out.
Fuck you. And the horse you came in on, Paolo. This is CHOWTIME Video Review, and I'm in charge, see?
Okay, it's like 1, 2, 3, chill. A little bit of Nesto, Paolo. Here's my intro in stereo. I'm neither hither nor thither, but I'm coming at you.
Hey, stop rapping.